Worrying news coming in this morning of a surge in COVID cases in the state of Maharashtra. There's a lot of concern over the Delta Plus variant, and Maharashtra has recorded over 20 new cases of this variant alone. After the decline in COVID cases, the state has seen now a sudden surge in cases across the state. Here are the details.
The second wave is subsiding, but COVIDiots are at it again. They are busy inviting the third wave. These images are from Navi Mumbai, where BJP workers in thousands held protest against the naming of a new international airport. No distancing, no COVID-appropriate behavior. This at a time when Maharashtra has been reporting a surge in its COVID tally. On Thursday, the state reported nearly 10,000 fresh cases. It has over 1,20,000 active cases. And not to forget, the state is facing a new threat in the form of Delta Plus variant. So far, Maharashtra has over 20 known cases of the mutated virus.
3400 सैंपल में से 21 सैंपल्स डेल्टा पॉजिटिव ये आइडेंटिफाई हुए हैं और वह जलगांव में 7, रत्नागिरी में 9, मुंबई में 2 और पालघर, ठाना इन डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में 1 ऐसा कुल मिला के 21 सैंपल्स नजर आए हैं.
To stop the situation from getting out of hand, the Uddhav Thackeray government has issued a fresh set of guidelines for districts reporting Delta Plus. The government has ordered local administration to decide on restrictions based on the situation in their district. The government has also made it clear that opening up should not be done in a hurry. Meanwhile, health experts are predicting a third wave in next 2 to 3 weeks.
Some districts in Maharashtra have got a high positivity rate as well as an increase in the growth. And the reason for that obviously is that we need to go back to the same tools which we have adhered to for the last 1.5 years.
International experts too have called for caution.
Based on the data that this virus transmits more easily and can be more dangerous, has been the underlying reason why they've made that change and upgraded it, as it were, to a variant of concern.
Additional stringent measures are being seen as the need of the hour. The state government proposes to put new curbs on the movement of people and vehicles, the interstate and intrastate travel, and crowding at marketplaces. The fear is, if more relaxations are given now, there could be sudden spike in COVID cases. With camera person Samir Shanbag, this is Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai, reporting for India Today.
Now, it was the Delta strain that wreaked havoc in India and caused that massive second COVID wave. Now, its mutated version, Delta Plus, has claimed its very first life in India. A 59-year-old woman from Madhya Pradesh lost her battle, unfortunately, to the mutated virus. She was yet to receive the vaccine, and that's very important to note. Right now, more than 40 cases of the Delta Plus variant have been reported in 5 states. The centre has already declared it as a variant of concern. Here's our report on all that you need to know about the Delta Plus variant.
The Delta Plus variant of SARS-CoV-2, the latest threat in the fight against COVID, has claimed its first life. A 59-year-old woman in Ujjain contracted the latest mutant during the second COVID wave. She passed away on May 23rd. The woman tested positive on May 17th and her samples were sent for genome sequencing.
हमारे पास भोपाल से सूचना आई डेल्टा प्लस वेरिएंट की. जब हमने उसको डेटा पॉइंट वापस ट्रेस करना शुरू किया तो पता चला कि उसकी मौत हो चुकी है महिला की. इनके परिवार में इनके जो पति थे वो इनके संक्रमण के 15-20 दिन पहले संक्रमित हुए थे. वो ठीक हो गए थे, उसके बाद ये संक्रमित हुई.
5 confirmed cases of the Delta Plus variant have been identified in Madhya Pradesh till date. 3 of those cases were reported from Bhopal and the remaining from Ujjain. Over 40 cases have been identified across India in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. The mutant is seen as a threat as it is believed to be even more contagious than its earlier avatar, the Delta.
Some data suggests that the Delta Plus may be more infectious. It could even spread faster than the Delta variant. There is a possibility that if there is someone who is not having COVID appropriate behavior, then there is a chance that he can get the infection from these new variants.
There are also concerns over vaccine's efficacy against Delta Plus variant.
The concern now is that the presence of this mutation in the Delta Plus variant might render it immune from the antibodies produced by the vaccine, or the antibodies produced from past infection, or the new antibody cocktail being used in treatment.
While there are concerns that the Delta Plus variant may escape immunity, the good news is, so far there has been no confirmation of a vaccinated person succumbing to the virus. The focus is now on genomic sequencing to pick up any potential surge. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, despite the raging pandemic and the looming threat of a third COVID wave, you're seeing farmers continuing to rally against agricultural reforms. The Bharatiya Kisan Union, which is spearheading the ongoing farmer agitation, has announced that thousands of farmers will reach the Ghazipur border to mark 7 months of the stir today. Farmer leader Rakesh Tikait has said that a new group of farmers will arrive at Ghazipur from Saharanpur and Muzaffarnagar areas of western Uttar Pradesh. He said farmers from more areas will also be joining them at Delhi's borders, and this despite the fact that this is amid a pandemic and there are certain norms to be followed. The Fresh Farmer Rally is seen as a show of strength by farmers who are demanding a rollback of the 3 farm laws. Remember that the talks between the centre and farmers have come to a halt as both sides are unwilling to show any sign of flexibility to resolve the crisis.
ये सरकार को चेतावनी भी है, सरकार को डराना भी है। और डराने क्या का हम झूठू डरा रहे हैं। हमने ये कहा कि वे 25 लाख आदमी भी यहीं हैं और वे 4 लाख ट्रैक्टर भी यहीं हैं। वे कहीं गए नहीं। 8वें महीने में प्रवेश करेंगे अब 26 तारीख को। तो ट्रैक्टरों के साथ में तो प्रवेश करेंगे या वैसे ही प्रवेश कर जाएंगे। उसका पूरा गेट बनाएगा इधर से, इधर जब प्रवेश करेंगे 8वें महीने में तो ट्रैक्टरों के साथ में प्रवेश करेंगे।
Moving on to other stories, the Ayodhya Temple Trust has landed in a fresh controversy. India Today's investigation has found that the plot of land sold by the Ayodhya mayor's nephew to the Temple Trust was allegedly government land. Here's a special report filed by India Today's Arvind Ojha.
Faith and trust are on test as the custodians of Ayodhya, holiest site, appear to have landed themselves in trouble. Is the sale and purchase of the land for the Ayodhya Temple Trust turning into a story of greed in the name of Bhagwan Ram? India Today hit the ground to find out more. 300 meters away from the Ram Temple site, this is the exact land in the Ramchandra area where the opposition has alleged a big land scam. The land was bought by Ram Janmabhoomi Trust for 2.5 crore rupees in May this year. The deed documents accessed by India Today found Ayodhya Mayor Rishikesh Upadhyay's nephew Deep Narayan Upadhyay bought the same piece of land for just 20 lakh rupees in February and sold it to the Temple Trust for a staggering amount of 2.5 crores in May. If you find this shocking, well, this is just the tip of the iceberg. India Today found that in fact, the land in question is a government property and cannot be sold until it is converted into a freehold lease. The sub-registrar of Ayodhya himself spilled the beans on India Today's investigative cameras.
इस मामले में नजूर की जमीन यही सुनने में हमें भी आया है 135 नंबर की ये नजूर का लैंड है। अगर जब नजूर का लैंड है तो नजूर में वेस्ट होगा ही, तो इस पर ट्रस्ट उनको मुकदमा करके अपना पैसा वापस ले लेगा जब तक की वो फ्री होल्ड नहीं रहती एकदम। भाई पर्सनल को चेक से पैसा दिया है, कोई नगद किया नहीं। जिस दिन चालेगा उनके ऊपर क्लेम करके भैया तुमने जो लैंड हमको बेची है ये स्टेट लैंड, चलो हमारा पहले पैसा वापस लो।
SB Singh claimed it was upon the buyer, in this case the Ram Mandir Trust, to investigate the ownership of the land being bought and to get the necessary documents.
Buyer should be aware. कोई भी सामान खरीदिए तो पहले उसकी पर्याप्त जांच करिए। हमारे यहाँ 12 साल का अगर आप जमीन खरीद रहे हो तो रजिस्ट्री कार्यालयों में NC मिलता है, नॉन इनकम्बरेंस सर्टिफिकेट मिलता है। आप पहले सेलर, हम लोग अपनी वेबसाइट में बड़े बड़े अक्षरों में लिखे हैं यही चीजें, जमीन खरीदने से पहले आप सेलर की पहचान सुनिश्चित करिए, राजस्व अभिलेखों से उसके पेपर का मिलान करिए।
Devendra Prasad Acharya, who sold the land to Deep Narayan in February, has alleged he sold the land only after he was persuaded by Mayor Upadhyay and his nephew. Prasad Acharya claims he was assured that the land is being sold to the Temple Trust and will be used for the construction of the Ram Temple.
ट्रस्ट के लोग हमसे मिले नहीं, हमसे मेयर साहब मिले थे, उन्होंने कहा कि उनको जरूरत है।
आपको जानकारी है कि दीप नारायण ने आपसे 30 लाख में लिया जैसा बता रहे हैं, और ट्रस्ट को ये जमीन जो है 2.5 करोड़ में मिली है।
हाँ, ये हमको नहीं जानकारी, आपसे सुन रहा हूँ, गलत किए।
With so many questions coming to the fore regarding the two land deals and the involvement of Ayodhya's mayor, a BJP leader and two of his closest relatives, India Today decided to seek answers from the mayor himself and confront him. As mayor ran away, refusing to answer, he left a trail of many questions. The expensive shopping spree for the land for the construction of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya is sponsored by the donation of thousands of people who donated in complete faith. The deafening silence of the Ram Temple Trust and the Uttar Pradesh government raises many moral questions.
100 साल से आरोपी देख रहे हैं हम लोग, हम पर महात्मा गांधी की हत्या के आरोप से हम चिंता नहीं करते। आप भी चिंता मत करिए, आप खूब लगाइए। You are, yes, I accept, I ready, you also, you do it. आप अपना काम करिए, हम अपना काम करें।
A broader and a fair investigation only can provide necessary answers and, more importantly, help restore the faithful's trust in the custodians of the holy site. With Arvind Ojha in Ayodhya, Bureau Report, India Today.
There's no end to the Amma legacy war in Tamil Nadu. Former Jayalalitha aide V.K. Sashikala has sniped at EPS-OPS once again. She's again put out an audio tape in which Sashikala has claimed that she wanted the merger of AIADMK and AMMK before the polls to stay united for defeating the DMK. Sashikala said that she wanted Amma's party to be united, but the AIADMK top brass insisted on contesting polls separately. Now, since the beginning of May, Sashikala has been speaking with party cadre, these are AIADMK cadre, over the phone about issues within the party, and such audio clips have been surfacing where she's been lashing out at EPS and OPS.
அதிமுக யாரும் பிரிஞ்சு இருக்கக்கூடாது, ஒன்றுபடுத்தணுங்கிற முயற்சியிலலாம் நான் ஈடுபட்டேன். அதுக்கு ஒத்து வரல அவங்கங்கிறப்ப நான் என்ன செய்ய முடியும் சொல்லுங்க. இப்படியாவது திமுக தோற்கடிக்கணும்னா நம்ம ஒன்று சேர்ந்து நிற்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறத தான் நான் சொல்லிக்கிட்டு இருந்தேன். அதை இவங்க அதுக்கு ஒத்து வராமல், ஒத்துழைப்பு இல்லாமல் நாங்கள் தனியாக நின்று 150 சீட்டை எடுப்போம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அவங்க நிற்கும்போது நான் என்ன செய்ய முடியும்? அவங்க இப்போ யோசிச்சு என்ன பண்ணுறது?
Ahead of the Karnataka Assembly polls in 2023, The divide within the Congress is now surfaced, with MLAs projecting Siddaramaiah as a CM candidate. And this has clearly upset DK Shivkumar, who's also nursing chief ministerial ambitions, dividing the Karnataka Congress now in two camps.
Just as dissent within the ruling BJP in Karnataka settled, the opposition Congress has now begun to quarrel over who's their next chief ministerial face, Siddaramaiah or DK Shivkumar. The Karnataka Congress is now split into two warring camps, one backing Siddaramaiah and the other pushing for DKS to lead Congress into 2023 assembly polls. After MLA Zamir Ahmed, the latest member joining the Siddaramaiah bandwagon is MLA Ramappa. He says DK Shivkumar is too young to be the chief minister.
DK Shivkumar ವಯಸ್ಸು ಐತಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಜನದ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಮುಂದಿನ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇರು ಹುಡುಗರು ಕೇರು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ಈ ಟೈಮ್ 2023 ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗಲಿ, ಮುಂದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮುಂದೆ ನಂತರ DK Shivkumar ಆಗಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರು ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. DK ಮುಂದೆ ವಯಸ್ಸು ಐತಿ, ಮುಂದೆ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು.
This comes despite Congress High Command's diktat warning MLAs against taking sides. DK Shivkumar, who is clearly nursing chief ministerial ambitions, is visibly upset. He even landed in Delhi to clarify with Rahul Gandhi. The leader of opposition and the man in question, Siddaramaiah, is playing cool. He shrugs off responsibility for comments made by his supporters, saying he is not concerned as it's their personal opinion.
I do not want to react to that. ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪಾಪ, ನಾನು ಯಾವುದೂ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ. ಆದ್ರೂ ನಾ MLAಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮನವಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ.
The issue erupted after a tweet from Karnataka Congress's official handle stating that COVID crisis in the state would be better handled if DK Shivkumar was the chief minister. This ruffled feathers within the Siddaramaiah camp, pushing a few to promptly make statements in his favor. Capitalizing on troubles within the BJP in Karnataka, the opposition Congress is now trying to pull up its socks. But the growing divide between the two camps has left the Congress High Command in a tight spot. With Nagarjun Dwarkanath, Bureau Report, India Today.